Hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? This is Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today is Thursday, October 9, 2008. And again, it was a beautiful day in the markets, lots of movement. Hope you were able to trade today and trade well. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. I have two charts, both the sterling. I have a 15-minute and a 4-hour chart. And first thing I want to do is take a look at my overall trend. And I'll move the chart back to just before midnight so you can see what my chart looked like before I started trading. And you'll see that we had a trend change candle back on October 5th, and that was a trend change candle for a downtrend. And you can see if I move the action forward today, we had no new trend change candles, which meant that the trend remained down the entire day. So again, this whole week we've only been looking for short trades, and today was no exception. So that's pretty much it for determining the overall trend. Now all we do is go to our 15-minute chart, and I'm going to move it back to just before midnight. And before I start trading, I want to take a look at news events. So you can easily go to babypips.com and click on tools, and you can take a look at what we had today. Yesterday I had written down that the MPC rate statement was at 7 a.m., but that was actually changed. It was just tentative. So I scratched that from my list. But if you notice, we had Halifax HPI, which I did not include yesterday, but that was actually out today, and that was at 4 a.m. We also had the trade balance, which is not a red event, but I pay attention to it just because trade balance, that can really affect the market if it makes a heavy swing. And also at 8:30 we had unemployment claims, and that was for the dollar. So 3 times here, 4, 4:30, and 8:30, and those were the times I was going to watch out for. So again, to recap, we're only looking for short trades, and for the time zone areas we are watching out for 4 a.m. Eastern time, 4:30, and 8:30. So that was that, and now we are ready to trade. So I'm going to go ahead and begin moving my chart forward one candle at a time. Remember, each candle is 15 minutes of the day. And here we get across right away, and this is at 12:45. And all we got to do is look for, I'll zoom this up a little bit, we'll look for our indicators, see if they line up, and sure enough, RSI is below 50, stochastic's trending down, and MACD is positive and losing value, so this is a valid entry. And it's at 12:45, so we don't have our first news event until 4, so we're okay to trade this. So the entry would be at the close of this candle at 72.61. Our stop will be at the most recent swing high at 73.10. And since we're at 72.61, the nearest 50 level is right here, and that's only about 11 pips away. And if you factor in the spread, that's not much of a target to go for. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and go for the same amount of pips I'm risking on the trade. So to do that, you just take your stop, which is 73.10, subtract it from your entry, which is 72.61, and we get a stop of 49 pips. We'll just round that up to 50. So now I'll just subtract 50 from our entry at 72.61, and we have a target at 72.11. So I'll just go ahead and put it at 72.11, and now we're ready to move forward. So with our trade in place, we don't really have to do much more except watch it, and you can see on the very next candle our target was hit, and the price did not continue in our favor, so I went ahead and closed out my trade. I was able to get out at 72.22, which was not the best exit, but that's where I was able to get out. So 72.22, and positive pips there, so that's one win, and we just brush it aside and look for the next trade. And at this point we're waiting for a retracement to happen so we can look for a re-entry. Without a retracement we can't have a re-entry. And here I have a crossover for the long side, so there is my retracement, and now I start to look for a re-entry. So now I'm paying closer attention because I know crossover could happen for short trades, because remember, that's all we're looking for. So I'll continue to move forward. Here we get a big drop. Not quite yet, not across yet, but here we have one. So let's take a look. 6:45 a.m. Okay, our news doesn't come out we've already passed the 4 and 4:30 news. Our news doesn't come out again until 8:30. So we have a close at 72.98. That's our entry. Our stop goes here at 73.77, our most recent swing high. And if we look at the nearest 50 or 0 level, we have right here 72.50. So that's about 48 pips of potential profit. Pretty good target size. So we'll go ahead and let that roll, and we'll just continue to watch. Okay, we almost get our target there, but not quite. Okay, and remember, our news comes out at 8:30. It's 8:15 here, and so our target isn't hit by this time. We know news is coming out at 8:30, so even though I'm at a loss, I'm going to go ahead and manually exit my trade here, and I got out at 73.40. Okay, so now we're out. That's a slight loss, but just brush it aside and continue to move on. There's our news candle, and now we're still looking for short trades. And we have no more news events for the day, so just looking for a crossover. So here we have a crossover again. This is at 10:15. Indicators line up. RSI is below 50. Stochastics are trending down. MACD has gone from slightly positive to negative, so that's a valid signal. And so the close is at 72.77. Our stop's at our most recent swing high right here at 73.95. And our nearest 50 or 0 level is right at 72.50. So that's about 27 pips of potential profit. So that's still pretty good. So we're just going to go ahead and let that roll. And here you can see that our target was hit at 72.50. Now we did have good momentum in our favor. So instead of closing out my trade, I'm just going to move my stop there and set my next target for 7,200. Okay. Here we get as low as 72.10, but not quite. Here we get almost low again. We almost get stopped out. We come really close. This comes at 72.49, so not quite stopped out there. And I am accounting for the spread, so just in case you were wondering. And here we finally get the price to get down to 7,200. And here momentum does not stay in our favor, so I exit at the close of this candle at 72.03. And there I am out of the trade, and now I'm pretty much just watching the markets. So now it's 12 and I'm pretty much done trading. So that was pretty much it for the day. Plenty of action, plenty of trades, good practice if anything, just for you to get in the market and get out. So if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to ask on the blog. I will answer them as best as possible, and I will see you all on the next update. Have a great day, everybody.